I want to talk about the Sins of Alchemax trailer from the game Marvel Rivals. I've never played, just full disclosure, I've never played Marvel Rivals. I have no intention to play Marvel Rivals, but what I respect about Marvel Rivals is that it has done a tremendous job in making Marvel's characters, namely the X-Men characters, incredibly popular again. I'm going to highlight specifically Cyclops. Cyclops is on a incredible resurgence run. It started off with X-Men 97, and he's just been going full tilt. And I'll talk about a little bit about Cyclops and his backstory and stuff like that a little bit later. But what I want to do is kind of break down the trailer. I've never really done this before. I have no professional credentials in animation. I just like looking at stuff and talking about said stuff. But I want to kind of break down and get to the heart of why I get goosebumps every time I see this trailer. And I think that's essentially what a trailer is supposed to do. It's supposed to kind of get you excited to see the content without revealing everything. But just hook you in and get you part of where they're trying to go. And I think Marvel Rivals and Team NetEase, I think they did an incredible job with this. So if YouTube permits, I want to show the trailer first. I won't talk. And then I kind of want to actually talk about it. I'll probably play a little bit and pause it and then give my thoughts on why this trailer gives me goosebumps. So let's actually look at the trailer first and then we can go from there. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Chrono anomaly located. Moving in. Target identified.
Not exactly a warm welcome, Nueva York. Optic blast!
So yeah, we're not going to really talk about the dinosaur. I know if you love the dinosaur, that's great, but I want to talk about Cyclops specifically. Okay, if you don't like it, you can click off the channel. I don't really care. So I first want to talk about number one, the quality in the animation. The term that is through the anime sphere, if you're in the anime and stuff, and era animation is sakuga. Okay, that means the quality, the high energy, the output of the animation in general is incredibly high. I remember Overwatch when they first jumped on the scene, and the quality of their sakuga, their animation was just top tier. And there's a part of me begging NetEase to do a movie or a couple of shorts of their particular characters and animation. Animation right now is on a roll. We have, Enter the Spider-Verse, we have K-pop Demon Hunters, but animation is just not for kids. It's not only just for kids. It's also for adults. It's made by adults, maybe targeted to kids, but animation is such broader than that. And I feel that the quality of the animation, it pulls you into what's going on. My second point of why this trailer gives me goosebumps is dovetailing off of the quality of the animation is the controlled action of Cyclops that explodes into chaos. So if you notice, I'll just play a little bit of the trailer, how it starts off really calm and dour and dark and slow, and then the burst of color out of that darkness, a burst of red just pops out. And it's Cyclops. He does a focus blast and the screen goes white. So I'll kind of show a little bit of it.
Chrono anomaly located. Moving in.
Hints of red, black, and purple.
Target identified.
And just like a crazy bee.
Not exactly a warm welcome, Nueva York.
Like everything about this opening trailer describes Cyclops to a T. He's a man, he's a soldier, he's an X-Man of incredible focus, incredible dexterity, incredible strength. But he's called Cyclops for a reason. He has incredible precision, and he all the time he's not only working on controlling his power through the use of his visor, he's working on controlling who he is as a man, as a mutant to his core, because he has all these things that are pulling him into one way or another. I'll try not to jump into like Cyclops' backstory, but Cyclops is one of the most tortured, most powerful mutants in Marvel's history. His bloodline is damn near godlike, legendary. And for a long time, Cyclops had to almost balance out who he was as an X-Man and who he wants to be. He was Professor X's, greatest pupil. He went on to lead the X-Men, and throughout that time period, he's gotten into a lot of high highs and low lows. I won't really explain them right here, but for the course of what I talk about in 2, I love how it starts off very quiet, very uniform, and then out of that darkness, out of that rainy, dreary night, we can see Cyclops just focusing his power. Now, over the course of the trailer, Cyclops gives a little bit more and a little bit more. You start to see him darting around the street like a maniac. And I really love that they're showing that action with Cyclops and how versatile he's using his powers. It's not just I use the beam to focus down way. If you've seen X-Men 97, he's used the focus to control his landings. He's technically a strategist, and I think that's what it is, what they've made his character in Marvel Rivals. He's technically a strategist, and he's a brilliant strategist. But you see over the course of this trailer that control gradually loosens, and it gives way to when he sees the little girl. I'll try to skip to that part. And that's kind of where my goosebumps comes in, because Cyclops, above being a soldier, above being a mutant, above being, an incredible X-Man, he's a hero. And when he sees someone in trouble, he jumps to it. Just like Captain America, just like Superman, just like all these great heroes, he jumps to it. And I think when he sees that little girl in trouble, his strategy is to, at all costs, I need to save this girl. So and I love that shot, like with his eye. I'm sorry, pause it, but I just kind of want to break it down. I love that shot with his eyes, like, oh no, I didn't even realize. I was going out loud. I was trying to be as controlled as possible. I had no idea that there's someone else on the field. And that's Cyclops trying to control the chaos that's a part of him. And I learned recently that Cyclops' powers are not just like heat vision. It's not heat vision. It's a form of kinetic energy. More importantly, it's a form of a conduit called the punch dimension. He's channeling the punch dimension through his eyes. The punch dimension is like an endless realm of nothing, just kinetic energy, just all the time. And he's using that. Every time he opens his eyes, he's a conduit. He's a portal. His eyes are literally a portal to that dimension, and he's using that not to flame people, not to turn them into cinder or anything like that. He's using them to push them back, to break them apart, to render them useless or whatever. And I think that's a really great idea. I had no idea about this. I have not really been a super Cyclops fan. I've always been Team Wolverine or Team Gambit or Team Storm or whatnot. But knowing this, that this has always been a part of his powers, and Marvel's decided, I think back in the late 80s or whatever, to kind of scratch that little detail and just say, hey, kinetic energy. He's using kinetic energy. He's just constantly generating kinetic energy. But to have him be like a conduit, a portal to that realm, just raises his legendary status, his iconic status as a mutant. I would say it should definitely, if he's not already, he should definitely be an Omega mutant with this power, because there's like no end. There's no end to like what he can do if he learned to like harness that power in full. And you can see what that looks like when he's just out of control. And rather than destroy the world, destroy the city with his eyes, he decided to, just save the little girl and give it up. I also want to get into uh another reason why this trailer gives me goosebumps. I marked this as number 4, but I think I'm gonna bump it up to number 3. Um, Ray Chase. He's a prolific voice actor. He has taken the helm of being Cyclops, and I say half, if not 70% of this trailer works because Ray Chase gives his all to Cyclops. When he jumps on the scene, says, again, a warm welcome to Nueva York. He has a great command of his voice, where he sounds not only like a safe person, he seems like he has his shit together, but you can trust that he's going to get the job done. And this trailer does a great job of, like I said in the beginning for part 2, of showing the controlled nature, the composure of Cyclops, and when he's able to assess the scene and know exactly what to do, and then when there's something that there's a little kink in that armor, there's a little kink in that plan, what he's willing to do, how he's able to adapt and think on that, and what happens when he goes too far, when he cuts too loose, and how that goes. And one of the things that really cements the goosebumps in this trailer is Ray Chase's scream, specifically this part. There are some voice actors that have really good screams in the animation industry. JYB, if you've heard him say Bankai, in Bleach. Um, if you heard Bryce Papenbrook as Aaron Yeager. Even I forgot his name that plays Armin. Hold on. Armin voice actor. Hold on. I want to mix this up. Alert. Voice. Okay, Jesse James Grell, like he did an incredible job with Armin Alert. But yeah, I'm trying to get distracted. The scream that Ray Chase gives off, it's one of where he, like I said, I've mentioned times and time again, loss of control. And Cyclops is a man of control. Everything about him, down to his outfit, down to his how he controls and holds back his powers with his visor. Everything is about control. I don't want to let too much go. I don't want to lose myself. I'm a leader. I'm a leader of one of the greatest Marvel teams in history. Yes, fuck Avengers. Sorry, I'm an X-Men man to the day I die. I'm sorry, but Cyclops is that guy, and for him to see someone in trouble and their life on the line, and him willing to just, I don't care. I don't care what happens as long as I save this kid. I'm willing to do whatever it takes, even if it means you guys capture me. That's the man what Cyclops is, and I don't want to jump too much into it. I apologize, but Cyclops, people like Captain America. That's how I'm supposed to feel about Superman. And I wasn't able to feel that way in when watching the movie, or reading the comic, the new Absolute Superman. I still haven't felt that way, and maybe they're working on it in Absolute Superman. I haven't read caught up, but like that notion of sacrificing yourself for the greater good, despite having all the power in existence. Like he could have literally just wiped that entire city clean, but he chose to be captured. He chose to close his eyes and not reveal too much, or not harm anybody. And I think that's what makes Cyclops a really incredible X-Men. The music, I'll get to my last point. The music was incredibly good. I love the crescendo, how it starts off very quiet, very solemn. It doesn't overburden or override the actual animation. I can hear people's voices clearly. It's just it's pitch perfect. And I know it's a lot for like was it 2 minute or some odd trailer. Yeah, it's not even 2 minutes, like 1 minute and 23 seconds. But like they've done so much in this trailer, and they've executed perfectly. And I think that's the job, great job of a trailer. It's supposed to show you just enough for you to say, "Oh my god!" But like when you dig down deeper and explore it more on every rewatch, and you're never bored. You're always like, "Oh my gosh, this is incredible." That's kind of getting in the heart of why I feel goosebumps when watching this trailer. Like I said, Cyclops, he's one of the most tortured, most powerful X-Men mutants in Marvel. And his bloodline, like I said, like, you know, his daughter, his wife, like, I mean, his brothers, like his mother, like it just there's so much to explore. I encourage you to kind of dive down deep and explore the Summers bloodline, because it's Macbethian. It's very tragic. It's very Shakespearean. The things that happen to his family. But yeah, I kind of want to talk about, you know, the anime trailer. I love the dynamic camera angles. The wide angles, the close ups of Cyclops' face when he sees a little girl. The changes in animation go from fluid to like stop motion. It's incredibly directed. It's incredibly crafted. Everyone that was involved in it did an incredible job. If you are a fan of Marvel Rivals, you probably love this trailer. If you're a fan of Cyclops, I know you loved this trailer. Like I said, I'm not a diehard fan of Cyclops, but I respect him as a character. I respect him as a mutant, as a man, and the things that he stands for. I know he had a villain arc, and he was one of the most terrifying villains in Marvel history. When a man just was once of control and he just loses it, and I think that's the incredible dichotomy I love about his character of what happens when the man that's so in control, and I've said it over and over, control. But what happens when a man is in that mode all the time, and what happens when he loses it? What is he capable of? And I think Cyclops has shown that in the comics. He's shown that in this trailer, what he's capable of, just a glimmer of what he's capable of, and it's terrifying. It's one of the most heroic, most terrifying trailers that I've seen. But it's like I said, at the end, he comes back and controls it. He doesn't let that chaos rule him at all costs. He saves the girl, but he's willing to control himself to such a degree that he gives up, his freedom or so. But I don't know what happens within the game or the trailer, or I haven't read about the sins of Alchemax or what happens, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be an incredible ride. So yeah, that's all I got. If you liked it, uh, subscribe if you want to. It helps the algorithm do its algorithm thing, and I appreciate you guys for your patience, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments, who's your favorite X-Men. Is it Cyclops, is it Wolverine, is it Rogue? Are you a fan of this run that Cyclops is having? I mean, like, he's doing such an incredible job. Like, I really appreciate everyone at Marvel, the writing crew, for just giving him his flowers. He deserves it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one. Cabs out.